Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Gloria Atta and here is our news in brief. Gloria Atta and here is our news in brief. To start with, the Nigerian military, in a major collaborative effort with international partners, has dealt a severe blow to terror networks operating within the country's northern borders. According to official updates from the Defense Headquarters, a series of highly coordinated precision kinetic airstrikes successfully eliminated 175 Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP and ISIS militants. The intensive joint operation, executed alongside U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, targeted deep-seated terrorist strongholds in the northeast, flattening tactical bases without recording any casualties among friendly forces. Building on this momentum, security agencies confirmed that the offensive successfully took out several high-ranking insurgent leaders, including the notorious senior commander Abu Bilal al-Manuki. While public skeptics initially questioned the identity verification due to earlier battlefield reports, the State House and Defense Intelligence emphasized that stringent multi-layered verification protocols were completed before making the victory public. This successful operation marks a pivotal shift in the regional containment strategy, severely disrupting the group's capacity to plan and launch asymmetric attacks across the Lake Chad Basin. In an equally dramatic development for national accountability, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, successfully arrested the fleeing former Minister of Power, Saleh Mamman. The anti-graft agency's operatives apprehended Mamman during a pre-dawn raid at a hideout in the Rigasa area of Kaduna State. This high-profile arrest comes on the heels of a federal high court judgment in Abuja, which sentenced the former minister in absentia to 75 years in prison after convicting him on a 12-count charge of massive financial misappropriation. Delving deeper into the judicial findings, Justice James Omotosho ruled that the former minister, who served from 2019 to 2021, systematically masterminded the diversion of over 33 billion naira. The siphoned public funds were originally earmarked for critical national infrastructure, specifically the landmark Mambila and Zungeru hydroelectric power projects. Following his arrest alongside two accomplices who were actively shielding him from justice, the EFCC confirmed that Mamman is currently being processed for immediate transfer to a custodial center to begin serving his jail term. Now, shifting focus to the political landscape, the race for the 2027 presidency has taken a dramatic turn as former President Goodluck Jonathan formally moves back into the spotlight. A prominent faction of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has officially granted the former leader a clean waiver, effectively positioning him as a frontline consensus aspirant for the party's upcoming ticket. This strategic institutional clearance immediately neutralizes several internal party roadblocks that typically restrict returning de factos or dormant members from seeking high office. Unsurprisingly, this development has triggered a massive wave of political realignments and legal pushback across the country. In response to a restrictive lawsuit filed by a constitutional lawyer attempting to disqualify him from running again, Jonathan has challenged the suit in court, maintaining his full eligibility to contest. Meanwhile, on a sub-national level, security anxieties surrounding local grassroots politics have forced a major administrative intervention in the southwest. The Ondo state government has issued an emergency directive ordering the immediate temporary closure of all public and private primary and secondary schools across the state. This preemptive shutdown is directly linked to the upcoming All Progressives Congress State Assembly primary elections, which security reports indicate are highly susceptible to localized violence and disruption. This cautious administrative stance stems from the widespread chaos and bloody clashes that marred similar APC primary exercise in neighboring states like Lagos. By clearing the school environments, authorities aim to protect students from potential political thuggery and ensure that designated school premises can securely serve as orderly voting and collation centers. Security agencies, including the Nigeria Police Force and Civil Defense Corps, have already deployed heavily around major flashpoints to prevent any breakdown of law and order during the internal party polls. Now turning to global economic policies impacting energy markets, the British government has officially loosened its strict trade sanctions on Russian fossil fuels amid a worsening global energy crisis. Under a newly issued trade license from the Department for Business and Trade, the UK will now permit the indefinite import of diesel and jet fuel originally derived from Russian crude oil, provided it was processed and refined in third-party nations like India or Turkey. This significant policy U-turn directly reverses a previous ban designed to choke off the Kremlin's war chest, highlighting how domestic economic pressures are forcing Western powers to recalibrate their geopolitical strategies. This drastic administrative shift is heavily driven by skyrocketing pump prices and looming domestic fuel shortages triggered by ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, including disruptions along the critical Strait of Hormuz shipping route. Moving on to business news with Shukura Oniye. Hello, Shukura.
Good afternoon and welcome to Business Updates. It's midweek, Wednesday, May 20, and markets across Nigeria and global economy continue to react to inflation concerns, investment activity, and shifting geopolitical developments. I am Aniya Shukra, and here are the top business stories making headlines. We'll begin at home, where Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a 650 billion naira treasury bill auctions aimed at funding short-term government obligation and managing liquidity within the financial system. The auction includes multiple maturities, with investment expected to submit bids before the May 20 deadline. Financial analysts say the move reflects the Apex Bank continued efforts to control inflationary pressure while also attracting investor participation in government securities. The development comes at a time when businesses and consumers are still adjusting to high borrowing costs and broader economic reforms affecting spending and investment decisions across the country. Still in Nigeria, trading activities on the Nigerian exchange closed on a positive note after 4 consecutive sessions of losses. World Cement, alongside several large-cap banking, record gains helped to lift overall market sentiment. Market watchers say renewed investor confidence, bargain hunting, and expectations surrounding corporate earnings contributed to the rebound. Analysts note that the banking and industrial stocks continue to play a major role in stabilizing the local equity market despite ongoing economic uncertainties. Now moving on across Africa, the Africa Finance Corporation has announced a $100 million investment initiative targeted at strengthening Africa's startup ecosystem and reducing dependence on foreign-owned venture capital. The initiative is expected to support innovation, technology expansion, and African-led enterprise across several sectors, including fintech, infrastructure, and digital services. Experts say the move could help create more opportunities for young entrepreneurs while improving local ownership within Africa's rapidly growing technology space. And at the global scene, investors remain cautious as concerns over inflation and geopolitical tension continue to affect international markets. Asia share tracked loss seen on Wall Street, while the US dollar climbed to a 6-week high amid expectation that interest rates could remain elevated for longer. Meanwhile, crude prices rose by nearly 3% following fears of possible supply disruption linked to tension involving Iran and wider Middle East region. Analysts say rising energy prices could further complicate inflation management for many economies already dealing with high living costs and slowing growth. And in aviation, Qatar Airways has reported strong fiscal results for 2025-2026 fiscal year, posting a $1.94 billion profit. after transporting more than 41.8 million passengers globally. The airline says the performance reflects continued recovery in international travel demand and expansion across key global routes. And that wraps up today's business update. We'll be handing over to Gloria Atta and Abubakar Taraki for newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Welcome back from that break. Now on the newspaper review with Abubakar Taraki. Abubakar, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Gloria.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Well, it's a political campaign season.
So you're always happy to be here?
I'm not the only one that is happy. Entirely Nigerians are happy because this is a matter of 2027 that will decide the future of over 250 million people.
I've never seen an analyst as passionate as Abubakar is. So today we are going to begin with our first newspaper, and it is coming from Daily Trust front page, and it says, "People told Tinubu I planned to kill him. Shetima." Now, why do you think the Vice President is making this statement at this time?
Well, because looking at the political tension that is currently going on, for the past 7 to 6 months, we have seen what happened at Gombe at the Northeastern APC caucus meeting that happened at Gombe State. Supporters of APC were chanting Tinubu, 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 and they refused to call Tinubu Shetima. You know, before you become a president or a vice president in this country, you have to come via a joint ticket.
Yes, indeed.
If you're a president, you need to have a vice president.
Of course.
And if you have a vice president, you need to have a president so that you can come on a joint ticket. So what Shetima said yesterday, maybe he's trying to show loyalty to his own principle, saying that I'm still loyal to you. And there has been speculation around that the incumbent president may likely drop Shetima comes 2027.
I see.
So it's just a political calculation, maybe from the vice president, trying to show that he's still together with his own principal officer. He's still together with the Nigerian president. But when there is smoke, there is fire. Why is it that almost 6 to 7 months to election, you are saying this worth? Why don't you say it since almost when you enter into power? Even though he stated that it was during 2023 election.
Yes.
That some people, some cabals went ahead and told the president that the vice president is trying to assassinate him so that he can become the next Nigerian president.
Yes.
Which yesterday he categorically made it clear to Nigerians that he don't have that plan. And he's still together with his own principle. So I think it's just a political calculation. And you know, sometimes with the way things are going, we have seen when Yemi Osinbajo was the vice president of President Muhammadu Buhari, how he was able to do certain things. He was able to fire and even hire. But in this Tinubu current administration, the vice president have only been sent on a delegation to go and represent the president, where he would just go and be representing the country on the aspect of diplomatic tact and some other aspect. There has never been a situation, there has never been a place where the president have stepped out of this country and relinquished the steering of this country to the vice president. So definitely, maybe there is a kind of like riffraff between the vice president and the president. But yesterday he made it clear that there is no any riffraff, and he still pay his allegiance to his own principle. Okay,
let's just say there are interesting times ahead for the APC, and we are looking forward to see how the events of things will turn. So right now we are moving to, still on Daily Trust, we are moving right below to the front page, and it reads, 2027 PDP faction screen Jonathan. Our former president is back in the race. So what are your thoughts?
Well, this is what we call,
it's
to Nigerians,
now.
This is what we call political confusion. Someone that has been the vice president, and he later came, he was the president, and he later came back as the Nigerian president, and still you are trying to tell us that he is still coming back as the next Nigerian president. Is he going to be Nigerian president for more than 3 times? I'm not an expert of law.
But has he done it for 3 times? He hasn't.
Well, when they came into power with Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, let may his soul continue to rest in peace, he came as the vice president, which they came under a joint ticket.
Of course.
And later on, when Umaru Musa answered the clarion call, he was also sworn as the Nigerian president.
But, you know, technically, he completed someone else's term.
Does not matter. He just came under that joint ticket. Are you telling me now, Jonathan will be Nigerian vice president without being the deputy of Umaru Musa?
Of course not.
That is true. We don't even know what... You know, in Hausa, there is what we call Sharia Sabani Hankali.
Okay.
What you see as 6, I may likely see it as 9. As 9.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I think we have to go and find a legal practitioner so that he can break this thing down to us. So what happened yesterday, the PDP have actually gave the former president a waiver that he's not going to be their own flag bearer, even though he is yet to respond. But Babangida Ali, former governor of Niger State,
yes,
and have actually cleared him based on his own track record, because he was a deputy governor, he was a vice president, then a president. They say that somebody with that caliber and somebody with that blue card does not need any further screening. So they gave him a waiver.
But looking at everything happening right now, do you think that he stands a chance? That's number one. And then secondly, do you think that his emergence is going to reshape or redefine politics, the political landscape come 2027?
I felt very, very bad, because if I take you back to what Goodluck Jonathan wrote in his book, My Transition Hours, where he outlined why he actually even congratulated the then president-elect, President Muhammadu Buhari-elect, Jonathan is a peaceful man, based on what he said. But some people are trying to trick him again, because Nigerians say that this man, we don't want your style of leadership. They sent him out of power. And why is it that now some few individuals are still calling him back? So then, was it an hypocrisy from the northern part of the country that sent him out of power, and now we are still bringing him back? These are the kind of things we need to be careful with those politicians.
But I beg to differ. Just sorry to cut you short. Now, I saw somewhere that, you know, some analysts argue that this is just a ploy by the PDP. They are trying to gain some form of relevance and shift focus to them come 2027. So do you also agree with that school of thought?
Gloria, the truth of the matter is PDP does not have any relevance in the political space in Nigeria.
My goodness. Okay. Does
not have any relevance. If you are to be honest with ourselves, if you are talking of opposition, the first opposition that you mentioned, is it not ADC? Is it not ADC?
Okay.
It is ADC. PDP have ruled for 16 years, remember? And whenever something is actually at the peak, there is what we call decline stage. PDP is now in its own decline stage.
Oh, wow.
In the First Republic, we saw many political parties like Jamia Mutane and Arewa, Northern People Congress. But nowadays, Northern People Congress are nowhere to be found. It's only some faction of Northern People Congress that is still with political parties like Social Democratic Party, SDP, and the rest. So, and People Redemption Party, PRP. So these are the little element of some political parties. If I may have the opportunity to speak to the members of the PDP, let them just find a way. Let them just find a way of burying PDP, and let them just find another political party to go, because PDP does not have any relevance nowadays. And mind you, in the forthcoming general election 2027, I doubt if there is going to be any significant number of people that will win election under the platform of PDP.
Abubakar has really hit, when they say Gbasgbos, you really hit them hard.
These are factual things. These are based on track, and these are based on analytical things that we see. We are not just trying to analyze or blackmail PDP or glorify APC. But the truth of the matter is, all those people that are currently in the PDP nowadays, does they have any political relevance in their own constituency? Most of them have been out of power for almost 11 years.
Wow.
4 years, 8 years. Do you still have relevance?
I think we should leave that for PDP stalwarts to respond themselves. I believe a few of them might be watching, and they'll decide if they have relevance or not. Or, you know, maybe they'll prove it to you.
Well,
so now, all right, so now let's move to our next headline, and we are going straight to the Punch newspaper. And it says, governorship aspirants shun consensus. So it's been an interesting time for the APC as a political party. I would like to hear your thoughts on this development.
If you can remember, in one of our discussions, I think it was on Friday, we have analyzed how powerful some governors are in this country.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is, most of those governors that shun the consensus were trying to at least drift from what exactly their people want. In a situation whereby a governor served for the periods of 8 years, it is expected that you should allow people of that party to at least bring out their own candidate. But why are you still anointing a candidate, superimposing candidate to your people, emasculating the right of your people? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? In some places, maybe consensus may likely work in places like Kano, Niger, Jigawa, Sokoto, Zamfara, and I forgot the other state, because all those governors are actually in their first lap.
Yes.
So they still have another 4 years to run.
Yes.
That state, consensus have been working perfectly, but instead like Gombe, Kwara, I forgot the remaining state, where consensus are there, Yobe, where consensus are having it very, very difficult to anoint their own candidate. This is exactly why, because the governors always have a way of manipulating things, allegedly. They have a way of deceiving people. So in a situation whereby the state governors are more powerful than the political parties, we may likely expect this kind of things, this kind of rigmarole between the politicians. And the truth of the matter is, most of them wanted to have a soft landing, because I believe maybe one day we're going to have we are going to discuss the politics between successor and predecessor. What is going on? Whenever a governor that is in final lap, he leaves the office without anointing the candidate that will at least cover what he did. I think that governor, from the moment he relinquished power, he's going to be
from one lawsuit after the other.
He's going to land at the custody of one of the anti-graft agencies.
Yeah, one lawsuit after the other.
But I pray,
yes,
with the way things are currently going on in this country, the governors are powerful. If they can at least come back to their own senses, try and at least find, because they still have a long way to go, maybe like 6 to 7 months to their relinquishment, to the election. And you know they are going to hand over on 29 May 2027.
Yes.
You see, they virtually have like 8 to 10 months before they finish their own final lap. They should use the remaining months in bringing policies that will at least alleviate the suffering of their people, enhance the quality of well-being, put more emphasis that will eradicate poverty, hunger, malnutrition, lack of unemployment, unfertile access to basic amenity. These are the kind of things where I'm expecting the state governors to be doing that.
So
because
much,
the greatest legacy in this world is legacy.
Yes, indeed. The greatest thing you can do is legacy, leave a legacy behind. And I hope that our politicians are actually listening and, you know, they make this necessary change. You know, because indeed we say government is for the people, by the people, but that's for the people part.
That was
they seem to forget
definition.
it.
If you are going to define government in Nigeria, it's government for the few, by the few, and for the few.
Abubakar and his definitions. All right, that's it on Newspaper Review today. Up next is S24 Report, coming to you after the break. Thank you, Abubakar.
The boy child is not left behind. That was the message as the Ergote Foundation marked the International Day of the Boy Child with a work themed Flourish and Thrive, investing in boys for stronger families and communities. The founder said while attention is often placed on the girl child, boys also need guidance and support, especially as many are being drawn into cultism, banditry, and other social vices due to neglect.
We need to raise awareness about the fact that the day even exists in the first place to celebrate the boy or the boys, and to raise awareness about the plight and challenges that they face, because these challenges turn around to affect each and every one of us and even the country at large.
According to UNESCO, over 140 million boys worldwide are out of school, showing the need for greater investment in boys. Speakers at the event, including a teacher and lecturer, described the conversation as long overdue, stressing that many boys simply need attention, mentorship, and opportunities to thrive.
Boy child, they need attention. Most of the time we tend to look towards the girl child, but honestly the boy child, they are also crying for attention. Most of them, they need to be taught resilience, especially in a time like this with different vices happening around the Boko Haram, the drug addictions and everything. We need to empower our boy child. We need to encourage them so that they live the right way.
Look at the boy child, even in reaching out to school children, they are the majority on the streets. And Yergote Foundation is doing a great job by reaching out to the boy child to make sure the boy child is well brought up, shall I say, braced up to face the challenges in the near future.
It's very important that we bring this forward as academia, as researchers, as policy contributors, that the issue is being brought forward. The boy child also deserve respect, deserve attention, deserve discussion, deserve attention. And so this is why we're here today.
Beneficiaries also spoke on the skills they have learned and their plans to impact younger boys in their communities.
It has helped me to know how to plan, to know my values, what I want in my life. And another thing I learned is setting goals, which is I know how to set my long-term goals, my short-term goals, and my medium-term goals.
Goethe Foundation has impacted my life in a positive way. It gives me a sense of inspiration of being a better man. And I've learned many things actually. And one of the topics I learned in Goethe Foundation is time management. And it has helped me in keeping track of time and getting more better in my academics.
Organizers say beyond the work, everyone must become an advocate for the boy child to help build stronger families and safer communities.
Many young boys are growing up surrounded by vices such as cultism, banditry, substance abuse, and more. Many are angry, confused, and are without proper guidance. A lot of boys are not bad children, they are just simply guidance. A lot of boys are not bad children, they are just simply neglected. So I call on parents, teachers, schools, government organizations, and all caring Nigerians to put our hands together to empower the boy child. Happy International Day for the Boy Child.
Arena on S24 television. I am your host, Abubakar Traiki. Democracy and technology are becoming more connected in our today's world. In Gombe State, a new civic technology initiative known as Democracy AI Gombe is helping citizens to become more involved in governance and community development. The initiative focuses on transparency, accountability, citizen participation, Hausa translation, and budget and law, community reporting, project tracking, and digital youth engagement. It is organized by a group of young people who are really to amplify the voices that are not being heard in their own community. This afternoon, I am joined by a legal practitioner to help us understand, to help us track our own government official. I am joined by Barrister Ahmad Al-Mustafa Usman. Barrister, welcome to Political Arena on S24 television.
Thank you.
Barrister, it's a pleasure to see you in black and white.
That's great. I'm from court.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Yeah, welcome.
So, Barrister, in a nutshell, what is Democracy AI Gombe all about?
All right. Thank you for having me in this session, and it is a pleasure joining you.
Thank you so much.
Democracy AI Gombe is a civic technology platform which is using to help citizens to understand their government. It is used for accountability and transparency. It has key features. The first one is translating budgets and laws into simple language. They said ignorance of the law is not an excuse. How do you want the farmer to understand the law that is written in English? He cannot. For instance, now if you open the Constitution, you will see, notwithstanding contrary to the provision, even you, the analyst, you will find it difficult to understand what the law means. So we interpret the law in basic Hausa, like to see in court.
You have simplified the law jargons. I stand to be corrected.
Into simple Hausa for common man understanding. Then into budgets. Budgets are written in English, not only English, bureaucracy. You'll see figures. You'll find it difficult to understand. Now go to Gombe. Ask graduates or undergraduate students, ask them what is the budget for Gombe State in 2026. They can hardly answer. Why? Because the budget is not available for public consumption. Even if it is available for public consumption, they will find it very difficult to understand. So we interpret and simplify the budget into simple Hausa to say, hukumar kula da ilimi an ware mata miliyan 20.
To a layman understanding.
To a layman understanding. And za ta gina ajujuwa ko kuma za ta kula da ingancin walwala na malamai. This is how we interpret the budget into simple Hausa. Not only the interpretation into simple Hausa, rather to the understanding of those who were not opportune to go to school.
The illiterate.
Let's not call them illiterate.
Okay, sorry. I revoked that word.
All right. Now, if an ordinary farmer in Duku may find it difficult to understand why Saleh Mamman was sentenced to 75 years imprisonment.
That is the former Minister of Power.
Yes, because the amount is ridiculous, it's crazy, he cannot understand. But if you interpret it to him, Shanu Gudaya, how much is this cow? Is 1 million. Okay, 1 million times 10,000 is 1 billion. So this man stole how many cows? How many cows? Can you help me?
You said that 10 cows?
Yes, worth 1 million.
Barrister, don't you think that maybe this your own AI democracy is a duplication to what National Orientation Agency is doing?
No, it is not. We are helping them doing their work by enlightening citizens. This is a civic participation, open government partnership, OPG. We are just helping the government to educate the public. So Democracy AI Gombe, apart from this translation of budgets and laws, we also have anonymous community reporting, where citizens report issue of corruption.
In disguise,
yes,
like a whistleblowing policy.
Very good. Without your identity being exposed. We have law enforcement agencies that we are working with in collaboration, and we recently inducted 30 community ambassadors, which are helping us in verifying any information received. Let's assume you are living in Tudunwada and we receive a report that there is a domestic violence in Tudunwada, and you are our ambassador. You'll be contacted by our chief verification officer to confirm the source of information from you. If it is proven to be verified or truth, then it will be forwarded to the relevant authority to take necessary action. Okay, and it is funded by Nigerian Youth Future Funds, implemented.
Beyond your local community, how do you intend to extend your tentacles? Because Nigeria, we have 774 local government, 36 states with the federation. How do you intend to extend it beyond your own local community?
No, this is just a testing, like testing mic. Now, we want to see how the community accept and utilize the initiative first before it can be escalated to other communities. We want to see the impact it can make in Gombe State before taking it to other places.
So now you are now in the pilot test?
Yes, this is in the piloting test, and it will take us to 2028 before we can expand it.
So the mode of funding, how are you funding that project?
It is funded by Nigerian Youth Future Funds, implemented by Spotlight Initiative with support from Dr. Kole Shatima.
the acceptability of your people? Did they embrace it with good mind and positivity?
The community ambassadors are from Gombe State. They applied for the role. So it is automatically accepted by the community members.
But Barrister, don't you think that maybe some other people will say that maybe this is just because of the politics ahead of 2027 at its peak? That is the reason why you are bringing out this kind of initiative. Maybe you are not different from other youth organizations.
All right, but Democracy AI Gombe is not for campaign, it's not for promises. Rather, it is for knowledge sharing.
But there are some allegations that most of the youth organizations may likely drift.
But this is funded by a specific organization.
But you know how powerful our politicians are.
No, they don't have role to play here. I'm already employed.
Barrister, I can hold you accountable for what you said now.
Yes, definitely. I'm not looking for anything from politicians, so they cannot influence this.
Okay,
Perhaps
what challenge?
I have signed an agreement before funds were released for this project, so I cannot compromise.
Okay, Barrister, so due to time, what message do you have for your people out there?
For my
ahead
people,
of 2027 and Democracy AI going to be in ensuring free, fair, credible, and acceptable election?
If you say my people, you have to define the concept my people, because all Nigerians are my people. Are you referring to Gombe people or
Nigerians? Nigerians, Barrister.
Okay, my message to Nigerians is that your voter's card is powerful than a bullet. There is a reason why God have given you these thumbprints. It is not only for you to queue and vote, rather to decide the future of the country and the unborn generation. By next year, we will be given another opportunity, either to be pleased with the current situation of Nigeria or to change the situation. And God cannot come down from heaven to change the situation in Nigeria. Rather, he is giving us chance in the election day to change. If we are not pleased with the way the system of government is being run in this country, so citizens take your votes and vote for credible candidates, regardless of the political parties they represent.
Barrister, I have to cut you short.
It is about candidate, not political party, not religion, not tribe.
Nigerians should vote beyond sentiment.
In fact, if you vote because of religion or tribe, you are a tribesman.
Well, Barrister, thank you so much. It's a pleasure speaking to you. And that is all what we have on S24 Political Arena. Stay tuned for our S24 Day commentary. Thank you, and bye for now.
This is John Costa reporting for S24 here in Zaria, and we're at the palace of the Emir of Zazal, and I'm absolutely delighted that His Highness has taken the time to speak to us today. So thank you very much for taking the time to speak.
Thank you.
And it's a great honour to be here, so thank you for that.
Same here. You're welcome.
One of the main reasons that I'm particularly keen to talk to you is not only in your role as the Emir, but having been a diplomat and a banker and a lawyer in the past, and having done this exalted role now for 6 years. What kind of 45 years, and it now comes to you, how do you allay the fears of people that are worried that maybe you'll modernise or not keep to certain traditions? It must be quite a challenge.
Thank you very much, John, for this very interesting question. First and foremost, as of 2020, I was the Magajinga in Zazo, like Lord Mayor, and the second most senior member of the royal family. And at that time, I was, the most senior, because the one that was supposed to be number one and I was supposed to be number two had passed on for almost 10 years, so I was the only one in the forefront. And I held that position for 19 years when I succeeded my late father in 2001. And prior to that time, I was representing my father for 20 years in the same position. So technically, I spent about 39 years in that strategic, position of Magajingari. Since when I was in secondary school, I was representing him in most of the, functions of the Emirate for about 20 years. And then, when he passed on in 2001, I became substantive Magajingari. So for another 19 years. And it was on the 20th year that I ascended this, position. So it was not a new thing to me entirely, but
and people were aware of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was very
You were not an unknown entity.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I was very familiar with the system. I was one of the prominent in all sense of humility. And I was supporting, even though I was not resident here to work in the palace, but all important issues, were being assigned, to me by the late emir, especially issues bordering on, diplomatic community. I know that I was in the diplomatic service at that time, but anything to do with the diplomatic community, yes, he assigned that responsibility to me. And I was the one interfacing between the emirate and, all the diplomatic communities. Even though I have a pedigree, from coming from a family of, pioneers in the foreign service. My late father happened to be the first minister of state in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at Nigerian independence in 1960. And in 1965, he became the main minister in the ministry up to the coup that, terminated the First Republic in Nigeria, January 15th, 1966. And I was born about 6 months after. So by the 8th of June this year, I'll be 60. So the day I was born again, he was appointed Nigerian ambassador to Pakistan by General Iransi under the military, even though he turned it down. So you can see I had, a relationship, to the diplomatic cycle. And my late younger brother was the head of mission in Morocco up until his death. He was also ambassador. He died 2 years ago, while he was still in Morocco. So we have some relationship with Nigerian Foreign Service. So you can see the connection there. So going into foreign service, I think, was normal to me. I see it as, service to the country, and this is what I wanted to do. Even when I was growing as a child, as a student, I wanted to be a diplomat, but my father didn't want me to go away. I was the eldest surviving child. Even though I had brothers, a brother and a sister that passed on, I didn't even know them. My late brother would have been 90 this year. He was born 36. He was 30 years older than me. So old enough to be my father. So you can see the age gap between me and my father. So my father didn't want me to leave home and disappear, in the world, and go on diplomatic service at that time. He said, yes, if I want to do it, I can do it much later in life, but his health was failing and he was getting very old. So he needed me around. So my late brother ventured into foreign service from the beginning. Actually, he was hired into the foreign service. His first day at work was the day our father died also. So it was a sweet and sour, appointment. So that's the connection there. So you can see. So that's the connection there. So you can see from the traditional side, I have been in the system.
You've been involved in this game for a long time.
Absolutely.
One of the interesting things as well, I guess, is when you go and you travel and you see other places, sometimes there's a fear of that you'll come back and bring modernity with you, or
yes.
Whereas in fact, it seems to me like you've gone and seen these other places and realised actually there's a great deal of value in tradition and heritage and culture and keeping it preserved as a way of developing your nation and your state.
Correct.
But also, I mean, your late predecessor being appointed in 1975 was pre-mobile phones, pre-smartphones, pre the internet, and for 45 years, you gradually become more modern. But simply because we've got smartphones, it doesn't mean we have to give up our values or change our traditions.
Yeah, well, you see, we have seen empires and kingdoms that vanished, from this planet. Why? Why did they vanish? Because they refuse to accept, changes and modernity. So I believe if you want any system to survive, you have to accept, a modern, developments, be it in technology, scholarship.
Hello and welcome to Tech World Update, where we discuss technology, innovation and digital world. I am Aisha Muhammad. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. We begin in Nigeria, where the push towards smarter digital infrastructure is gaining momentum. The Nigerian Customs Service has officially deployed its new simplified Customs Advanced Declaration System at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. The digital platform is designed to automate passenger baggage processing and speed up airport clearance procedures. Officials say the move is part of a broader effort to modernize border operations, strengthen transparency, and improve the travel experience through digital-driven systems. And as digital systems continue to expand, attention is also turning towards digital inclusion and human capacity development. The Center for Information Technology and Development has launched a major initiative targeting 15,000 women across northern Nigeria with digital literacy and technology skill training. Organizers say the program aims to close the regional gender gap in digital access while empowering women with tools for entrepreneurship, remote work, and participation in the growing digital economy. Meanwhile, technology is also playing a bigger role in religion and humanitarian coordination. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has unveiled a cloud-powered communication dashboard designed to support Nigerian pilgrims during Hajj operations. The system enables real-time two-way communication, welfare monitoring, and emergency coordination between officials and pilgrims. Analysts say cloud-based infrastructure is increasingly becoming critical for managing large-scale public operations. Across Africa, digital transformation efforts are accelerating at both corporate and regional levels. Egypt's Giza system has officially rebranded into Pulse by Solutions under the STC group structure, strengthening the company's position in system integration, enterprise technology, and digital infrastructure across the continent. The development reflects the growing consolidation of Africa's enterprise technology ecosystem as companies reposition for AI-driven markets. And in Nairobi, youth traders and policymakers are gathering at the SADC Commerce Trade Forum to explore how smart technologies can improve regional agricultural trade. Discussions are focusing on digital trade system, smart logistics, and technology-driven policies designed to simplify cross-border commerce for young African agripreneurs. At the same time, the United States Trade and Development Agency is supporting a major wireless infrastructure rollout across Nigeria, Ghana, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire. The project, led by Vanu Incorporated, is expected to expand mobile connectivity into underserved and off-grid communities, further deepening internet access across West Africa. Now to the global technology space, where regulation, artificial intelligence, and digital security continues to dominate headlines. Singapore's financial regulator has revoked the crypto payment license of B-Squared Technology, following what authorities describe as serious compliance and risk management failures. The action signals growing global pressure on cryptocurrency platforms to meet stricter operational and regional standards. Meanwhile, a new report from the International Energy Agency shows the electric vehicle manufacturers are rapidly transforming cars into software-powered digital platforms. The report says modern EV companies are now competing not only on hardware, but on software updates, AI integration, and connected digital ecosystem. In another major development, Saudi Arabia's Tamer's capital has partnered with Spain's IE University to launch new research pipelines focused on artificial intelligence and executive fintech education. The collaboration highlights rising global investment in AI-driven financial systems and new generation digital leadership training. And finally, governments and digital rights groups are intensifying efforts to combat deepfake abuse online. New legal frameworks are emerging to help victims remove non-consensual deepfake pornography and revenge content from major digital platforms. It's on Tech World Update, where innovation meets impact and the future stays in focus. Stay with us as after the break, Gladys.
Hello, welcome back from the break, and this is your entertainment update for today. The only place where celebrity gist, music drama, and cultural dots meet together like Nigeria wedding jollof and small chops. Today's stories are hot, and one of them is literally covered in tomatoes. So tighten your seatbelt because social media is not resting, celebrities are shaking tables, and Spain is wasting tomatoes in a way that can give Nigerians high blood pressure. Social media has flooded with emotional reactions after screenshots allegedly taken from Ninola's Instagram stories claimed that her supposed husband, Big Mike, had passed away after what many describe as a secret 13-year marriage. Now, wait first. Nigerians are asking, she denied marriage before, so where did the husband suddenly come from? This internet can promote relationship faster than introduction ceremony. The emotional post shocked fans because the Afro House singer publicly denied marriage rumors in late 2025. Although no official statement has been released by her management, and the Instagram stories are no longer visible, supporters continue sending prayers and condolence messages online. And honestly, social media detectives have already opened headquarters. At this point, FBI should just hire Nigerians. From relationship mystery to global domination, Times continue to carry Nigeria's music flag higher than our network providers carry data prices. The Grammy-winning star has announced more international festival appearances this year, further proving why she remains one of Africa's biggest global exports. Fans praise her consistency, her talent, and growth, with many calling her one of the strongest voices in modern African music. At this point, Thames is not attending festivals again. Festivals are attending firms. Now let's enter dangerous territory. Please, if you are eating, hold your spoon carefully, because this gist is hot. Singer and entrepreneur Akon has reignited Africa's famous jollof rice debate after boldly declaring Sierra Leone's jollof rice as the best in Africa. And just like that, peace left the group chat. The statement immediately triggered reactions online, especially from Nigerians and Ghanaians who have defended jollof rice like it is a national constitution for years. While some people disagree strongly, others praise Akon for finally bringing Sierra Leone into the conversation. But let's be honest, jollof rice debates in Africa is now stronger than some people's political parties. And now to our cultural story for the day. A festival so messy that Nigerian mothers could faint instantly. Every year in the small town of Bonol, thousands of people gather for one of the world's widest festivals known as La Tomatina. During the festival, participants throw overripe tomatoes at each other for 1 full hour, turning the street completely red like an action movie scene. What started in 1945 as a random street fight among young people later became an international recognized celebration that now attracts tourists from around the world. But wait, before the tomato fight even starts, participants must complete something called the ham pole challenge, where people attempt to climb a grease pole to grab a piece of ham at the top. So imagine falling from a slippery pole just because of meat. Inflation has truly become international. Truckloads of tomatoes are poured into the streets while crowds scream, laugh, and throw tomatoes everywhere. After the event, firefighters washed the town clean within hours. Many people around the world remain shocked that thousands of kilograms of tomatoes are used only for celebration, especially Africans that currently price tomatoes like gold. Some Nigerians watching the festival are probably shouting, "Bring that tomatoes here first before playing." But for locals, the festival represents fun, unity, tradition, and community spirit. And that's all for Entertainment Update today. If social media doesn't confuse you, jollof fried debate don't divide you, and Spain don't waste your stew ingredients, then congratulations, you are surviving the internet successfully. Coming up next is sports news after the break.
Welcome back from that break. History has been made in England, relegation drama is eating up, and Nigerian sports stars are preparing for major battles on the continental and global stage. Here is your latest sports update. First of all, I want to congratulate all Arsenal fans and players. Wow, there is celebration everywhere. People are even wearing their Arsenal jersey to celebrate their win. The Gunners have finally returned to the top of the English football, bringing joy to millions of supporters worldwide. From everyone here, congratulations to Arsenal, the new champions of England. We begin in North London, where Arsenal have officially been crowned Premier League champion for the first time in 22 years. The Gunners sealed the title after Manchester City were held to a 1-1 draw by AFC Bournemouth on Tuesday night. After years of heartbreak and 3 consecutive runner-up finishes, manager Mikel Arteta has finally guided Arsenal back to the top of English football. The title marks Arsenal's 14th top-flight crown and their first since the famous Invincibles season under Arsene Wenger in 2004. Fans erupted in celebration across London as Arsenal's remarkable campaign was confirmed with a game still left to play. The trophy presentation is expected to take place in Selhurst Park on Sunday after their final match against Crystal Palace. Still in England, Chelsea boosted their hopes of a half-time finish with a 2-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur at Stamford Bridge. Goals from Enzo Fernandez and Andre Santos gave Chelsea control before Richarlison pulled one back for Spurs late on. The defeat leaves Tottenham dangerously close to relegation heading into the final day of the season, with West Ham United still hoping to survive. Back home, the Nigerian national football team now know their opponents for the 2027 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. The Super Eagles have been drawn alongside Madagascar, Tanzania, and Guinea-Bissau in Group L. However, with Tanzania already qualified as co-host, only the group winners will secure automatic qualification, making each match crucial for Nigeria. The qualifiers will begin in September 2026 as the race for AFCON Pamoja in 2027 officially takes shape. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Squash Federation has intensified preparation for the 2026 World Junior Team Squash Championship in Canada. Federation President Wilson says the goal is to give young Nigerian players valuable international experience as the country continues to build for the future. And finally, Nigerian striker Kelechi Iheanacho could remain at Celtic beyond this season. The Super Eagles forward is expected to hold talks over a contract extension after the Scottish Cup final this weekend, following his impressive contribution during the Celtics title-winning campaign. And that is your sports updates, where champions rise, pressure continues to build, and the Nigerian stars keep pushing for success on every stage. Coming up next is PJ News.
Una welcome, my country people. Carry your chair, come close, make I yarn una wetin dey our table today. First thing for here, na the Nigerian military, together with foreign soldiers from the US Africa, make we hang the story, make we hear the day. Una welcome, my country people. Carry your chair, come close, make I yarn una wetin dey our table today. First thing for here, na the Nigerian military, together with foreign soldiers from the US Africa Command, people where they call Africa, they don't deal with the terrorists for the northern border. Air Force jets carry out special bombing wey scatter the hideout of ISWAP and ISIS militants, and 175 bad boys permit for the operation.
Top terrorist commander, where people know as Abu Bilal al-Manuke, also died for the attack. Government and defense intelligence talk say it, and this victory don't scatter the plan where the terrorists get to attack the Lake Chad area. Runaway minister don't land for Abuja. EFCC don't catch former minister of power Saleh Maman after they don't jail him for 75 years when he been there run. Now inside one hideout for Rigasa area for Kaduna State, now operatives of the EFCC go block him early momo after he run go hide because they hear say they don't sentence him in absentia to 75 years imprisonment. Justice James Omotosho for Abuja talks say Maman will govern from 2019 reach 2020 don't thief wetin pass 33 billion naira. They say this money now for big electricity project like Mambila and Zungeru hydroelectric power. Now they don't process Maman, making it start to serve in jail there. Sharp. On top 2027 election, PDP don't give good luck automatic ticket to run for presidency. The politics for 2027 don't change here as one big group inside PDP don't give former president Goodluck Jonathan clear waiver to contest for the next presidential election. This waiver don't remove all the rules for stop him because he comes from the party before. As some people run go court to go stop this matter, Jonathan and his lawyer don't challenge them. Say he get full right to contest. Jonathan can't tell people where they support and say politics no be computer game. And then they talk with stakeholders so that in coming back go bring peace, make voters get interest to vote. And for inside Ondo State, we see say Ondo State government don't give orders say make all public and private primary and secondary schools close down quick because APC won't do their state assembly primary elections. And security reports show say fight fit break out. For inside Obodo Ibo, the British government don't soft the hard punishment and ban where them been put for Russia fuel before. Now, license from their trade department shows say UK go they allow diesel and jet fuel where they make from Russia oil enter their country. They say even though another country like India or Turkey help them process them, they go still allow her enter their UK. UK can't change mouth for this matter because say fuel money don't cost and fuel no plenty inside their country again, especially as fight they happen for Middle East and Strait of Hormuz. Even though some people they vex say the decision will help Russia get money to save for war. UK government don't talk say they must protect their own economy first to make transport system for no go collapse. Make we hang the story for here today and make una enjoy the rest of una day. Nigeria go better one day. And for Nigeria to better, make una ready to go vote for 2027 election where they come.